Hey, what's up, guys? It's Chef Plum, and here right now you're checking out episode 50. 50 episodes. Congratulations to Chase and to Scott for getting there on the Mack Talks. It's my favorite podcast. I check it out all the time. It's on my playlist all the time. This week, a fantastic episode. You're going to meet an awesome private chef, Chef Jeff Purrazzi. He helps me out with a lot of things. He helps a lot of people out with things. As a matter of fact, when I hear the word hero, I picture Chef Jeff Purrazzi. When I hear the word champion, I picture Chef Jeff Purrazzi. When I hear the term Iron Chef, there's only one name, Chef Jeff Purrazzi. Episode 50, the Mack Talks. They're hanging out. They're talking to Jeff, hearing his story. They're playing Mack Move or Wack Move. It's going to be a great episode. You got to make sure you check it out. Put it on repeat. Download it. Listen to it 14 times. Ask Alexa. Alexa will even play it for you. The Mack Talks right now.
Chase, tell the people what the Mack Talks are.
If you're an entrepreneur, impactful leader, or business owner, the Mack Talks are that vehicle that brings you the stories that you need to hear.
That's right, real stories from real leaders. Check us out every Thursday. What is up, everybody? Welcome. Episode 50. Super excited. We have a friend that we just met recently, acquaintance of our other friend, Chef Plum,
who we've had on the show.
The Good Brothers Network, basically, is
Good
what
Brothers.
they basically are. So let's welcome him, Chase. Let's welcome our boy here, Jeff Purrazzi.
Purrazzi.
Hey, Purrazzi.
What's
One more
up, brother?
time.
Ciao.
How's it going, man?
I'm living the dream. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming up. So, Chase, say hello.
What's up, everybody? Chef Jeff.
Wonderful to meet you, Chase.
Thanks for coming on.
No, thank you. Thank
Chase
It's
you.
our
is
first time
the,
meeting each other.
Yeah.
He's heard a lot about you. You've heard a lot about him, right? Mm-hmm. See, good things.
Only good things.
Only good things?
I'm like, I'm sending these guys pictures of like Scrapple and Dutch babies and like, you know what I mean? Like just showing them how I do down south in Delaware. It's kind of south. It's not south, but it's south.
Delaware cuisine is kind of questionable. Honestly, I don't know what they're putting in the meats down there, but they like to.
I don't
like
think
to
you
mix
really
it
call
up.
it meat. You know, it's like what is meat food? Maybe you can call it like cheese food. You know, like the way it's highly processed.
Yeah,
Foodstuffs.
highly processed.
Foodstuffs.
Yeah, foodstuffs.
Yeah.
Delaware has every single franchise chain in America, and everywhere is 15 minutes to get to in Delaware. You go to Dover, 15 minutes. Need to go 5 minutes down the road, which you think is 5 minutes down the road, 15 minutes.
So small.
And every single franchise.
A lot of heart, though.
Maybe all the traffic too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, obviously, we had Jeff. We're having Jeffy come on, so we can just chop it up, talk a little bit about your career.
Awesome.
Personal chef, just like our boy Plum is.
Yep.
You guys have a podcast and a radio show, podcast/radio show, right? It's kind of like
it's a podcast, but we kind of run it like a radio show.
It's like a live podcast.
Yeah, it's a live
type thing.
podcast. It's we call it the chef-driven live podcast.
And you guys definitely have some fun. I love it. Chase was listening to it earlier today. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you guys have little bits that you do that are hilarious.
I love it. The Road Warriors. I love it.
Yeah, we like to do all sorts of really ridiculous shit. Like, it's fun.
So let's kind of jump in and talk a little bit about your career and how you got into cooking and how you got into this kind of entrepreneurial role of being self-employed to be able to, to be this, this personal chef and a, you've been on Food Network, correct? You've been on a lot of the cooking shows, or
no? Actually, I haven't done that many. I was gonna be on Chopped.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
I ended up just being the extra because I had to go do something to the producer's chagrin. I called her the night of. It was supposed to be, the next morning. We were supposed to do it, and I said, "Oh, hey, I have to leave tomorrow at 5 p.m. Is that okay?" And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "What? It's an hour cooking show. How long could it possibly take?"
Yeah.
Calling times at 5 a.m. And she was like, "Well, do you want to win?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm going to win." And she was like, "Well, then it's going to go till like midnight." And I was like, and I knew right then and there I never wanted to be on any of those cooking shows. So I was like,
yeah, right.
That to me is bullshit.
Yeah,
I
right.
was like,
It's tough.
it's insane. It's like, I mean,
What year was this?
this is shit going back now probably 6 years when I was going to do that.
Yeah.
And then, and then shortly after that, I actually started a agency. I had a private chef agency for a little while.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was private chefing when that was all going on.
Yeah.
And before that, I was like a chef. Actually, I went to school basically for art. I didn't really graduate. I just kind of traveled around a lot. I was kind of like a free-spirited kind of cat who did a lot of different things. Put myself into college, took myself out of college.
Yeah, right.
cooked the whole time. I kind of was always cooking in different restaurants.
Did your family obviously if you're Italian?
I'm from an Italian family. Yeah.
I feel stupid even asking that question. I just asked an Italian guy whether his family cook. Does your family cook for you? Like, well, we're the only Italian family that didn't force food down your throat when you walk in the door.
Exactly.
Here, have some cookies. Come on, you hungry? Come on in. But I mean, obviously, right? You grew up in a big Italian family.
Kind of thing. Kind of big Italian family. Kind of a crazy family. I kind of broken family. So I we moved away from my Italian family when I was pretty young, and then my mom kind of went back to college. She didn't really have a career. My father and her broke up, and I kind of was the oldest, so a lot of cooking just kind of fell in my lap.
Oh yeah, interesting how that happens. A lot of times.
And it was more like my mom was like great at like doing shit like, here's a note, here's a this, here's a that, like figure the fuck out.
Setting you up.
Like, in so many words.
Shit that my wife keeps bitching that I don't make dinner. And it's like, well, put the little notes together like they did.
Give me
Jeffy's
instructions.
mom did.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. Like, tell me that the pasta's in here and you go grab this from over there. Like, sometimes my wife, she's like, do you live here? I'm like, where is it? Do you live here? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just kind of always cooked, and then, getting jobs, when you're like kind of hustling and working, it was just like I could get this job where I swing a hammer and sweat and I'm fucking dirty, or I can get this job where I can continue to be a fat pig. Yeah. And you also get paid.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
All right.
And eat well doing
it. It's a good
gig.
Fat pig is my alley. I'm like,
So you probably went through all the line, like all that
I came up,
work,
wash dishes.
I came up as a dishwasher. The first time I ever got on a line, I was in a diner that I worked at, a really small diner, and the guy quit. It was a Sunday morning, and I'd been like learning little things from him, and the guy just literally just like, fuck you. I walked out, and the lady was like, it's Sunday morning, can you get on the line? I was like, sure. And I'm like trying to like flip burgers, and I did okay, and then they hired someone else right away.
Diner's got to be tough though, because it's like you got to make eggs Benny.
No,
but then you got to go and make it.
This is more like salad. This is more like a scrapple diner.
Okay,
this is like a real country diner. Yeah. I grew up. I was born on Long Island. I grew up on Long Island, but when we moved upstate to a town south of Ithaca, New York, which is like, I graduated with like 50 kids.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it was like a small kind of spot. It was like one blinking light and shit. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a kind of a culture shock coming from. I grew up on like Oyster Bay, Bayshore, Central Islip,
bumblefuck town.
And all of a sudden we're like, I had a really thick Italian accent, a little bit of a stutter. Everyone thought I was black because my afro. It was like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, not so bad. I mean, whatever. It was cool. It was an interesting place to grow up. It was cool, but,
Yep. No, that's awesome.
I always say that if you're a chef and you didn't start off as a dishwasher at some point, like you're really like, I can't really respect you that much, because that's really where you learn. You actually learn your way around the kitchen, right? Because you got to put stuff back after you wash it, and then you also have to learn what things are, or you kind of just pick up what they are. And so I just feel like you got to start at the.
I mean, I don't do this anymore because I don't run a restaurant. But when I used to run restaurants, I made everyone do a night in the pit, because to me, the dishwasher is really the backbone of how the restaurant's going to run. Like,
it could jam everything up.
If you need shit, if that guy's not hustling, if you need your pots and pans, if those people aren't working and they're not being taken care of,
the wheels come off.
The wheels come off. And if you've never worked in that position, you don't know what it's like to have someone just toss that shit down and not take the extra step and put the silverware in the bucket and the plate on the and the pot and the thing. That means a lot to those guys, and it's like, if you've never been that person on the other line in the shit and had someone just keep throwing shit at you like you're an animal. It's like you got to respect everybody in their role, and it's like it's really important. It's like
what I think is funny is that I always say, and that kind of, it's almost the whole kitchen kind of mentality too. It's just it's a hustle. You got to move your ass, and each part has its own, you know what I mean? Like you said, like if the dishwasher's not on point and there's not clean silverware, somebody's sitting there with a hot plate of food but doesn't have a setup yet.
Nothing worse, and that ticket never stopped. Those fucking things just keep coming in those.
So I always like to say, like anybody that's, I firmly believe that me and him, the reason why we click with business and we work so well together is because he worked in a kitchen, I worked in a kitchen. I used to work at the Southbury Hilton for years. So I originally that's what I kind of originally started doing. I used to do like the cold stuff, and I used to work on the line. I only did it till I was probably like 18 or 19, I think. And then, I went and worked in a warehouse, and then basically just started being self-employed after that. But I love the mentality of the fact that it's like right now, like you got to move your ass. Like I feel like if you're ever in a position where you have to move your ass, if you've had that background of like, yo, these people are waiting for their food, you have to hurry up and move.
Yeah,
you're just more on point. You know what I mean? Like I always
a sense of urgency will definitely inspire people to like you know
you don't have a choice with inside. So you're like, dude, what do you run your business like a kid? Yeah, like let's go, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like that's how it should be, right? I mean,
I mean, good kitchens. I mean, you know, I definitely have seen some pretty shitty kitchens over the years, but I mean, you know, there's like, I feel like the thing in kitchens that is great too is that it's never like, oh, that's not my job.
Yes,
you know? Like, you're working in a kitchen, and everybody, if you see it, you just do it.
Yeah,
it's not about like, oh, hey,
the chef is washing dishes sometimes.
You know, you know, now that I'm a private chef, that's one thing that like, you know, nothing pisses me off more than anything than like someone coming to me and like being like, oh, hey, this is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like something that they obviously like, you know, oh, the water pitcher's empty.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
okay, so fill the water pitcher.
Put the water in the water pitcher. I'm like, we all work here. Like, why do I have to go? Like,
yeah,
seriously?
right?
Like, so you emptied it? And then you're like letting me know that
and
it needs water.
letting somebody know that it's
it's like,
right.
That kind of shit is a little bizarre, but you know, I mean.
So, what are some of the jobs that you have? What are some of the places you worked at? You started at the diner, then you worked your way up to. Oh
yeah, so I started a diner, then I was in a pizzeria for many years in Ithaca. I became manager of the pizzeria. You know, I've kind of always had like a talking skill. I've been really good with people, so I've always graduated into like leadership positions. So everywhere I've went, I was like kind of like.
Found your way up.
Figured my way out, and so I became a pizzeria guy. Then I moved out west. I lived in Washington State for a few years. I was waiting tables. Oh, wow. And then I was making great money waiting tables, actually. And then I got fired because some guy snapped his fingers at me. And then the guy in the chef hired me that same night because I basically used to smoke back then. I remember I walked on the back deck, I lit a cigarette, and I was just like, you know, fuck my life. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I just got fired because I can't calm down. You know, I'm a fucking animal, and this guy kept snapping his fingers, and it just made me mad.
Right. That's the worst.
Yeah. It's like it's a terrible.
It's the worst thing you can do.
It's
the only thing that tops that is whistling.
Like
whistling. It's like it's always,
anything
you got to
like
snap
that.
with a whistle. It's like
it's just demeaning. You know, I think people lose a sense that, you know, in service, even though they're expected to do a certain amount of service and something for you because that's their role in that position, it's still a human being forming that service. And it's like you said, you guys have worked in the industry, so you absolutely know what that feels like. You absolutely know what that feels like to have someone snap their fingers at you or whistle at you or treat you like you're less than. I feel like it sucks to be in a position to where you need that job so much that you can't actually look back at the person and be like, you know what, dude, I'm a fucking human, man. Please don't. Why would you do that?
Like, you know exactly.
What I mean? And it's like, I feel like I unfortunately have never let anyone get away with it because I'm quick to be like, dude, no.
You don't do that. It's just not
what are you doing?
Right thing to do.
I would never do that to someone. Like, I'm not gonna, hey, you know, like, it's like
you're catcalling.
It's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Like, it's that's when I got into fine cooking, he was a French chef.
More like fine dining.
Yeah, fine dining. It was a crazy restaurant. So I mean, I learned a lot in the front of the house, and then went to the back of the house. Started as a dishwasher.
It's probably a good experience for you though to have that, because but that's the one thing. Like he did say that about the dishwashers. Like everybody's got to start a dishwasher when you're. But for the most part, there's a separation from. Whether you're front of house, you know, working on the way, and then, you know what I mean? Like, when they're in the kitchen, everybody's working together, but there's a big difference there. It's usually people don't blend that.
No.
So you having that is actually
the
a little
hostess
bit
is always blend.
Yeah. But you having that, obviously, you know, because now it's almost like with what you do privately, you kind of almost are the front of the house too, because you have to make sure that they're
absolutely
right. I mean,
no, private chefing.
So to have that skill is good.
Yeah, private chefing is absolutely one of these things where you know, when I ran the agency, I would tell people all the time, like, listen, I'm sure you can cook, but it's all about how you can mingle. Like, these people, you know, it's like it's one, it's the same table every single night. Two, it's like you're just as good as your last dish. I mean, there's a lot of pressure there that you have to deal with. And then the other thing is, you're not always cooking your food. Like, you are, but there's always like certain parameters. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you have certain likes and dislikes. Yeah. You know, like, oh, I hate cilantro, for instance. Like, that might be something you hate, right? Like, it makes you feel sick. You don't ever want to fucking see it.
Yeah.
Okay. It goes on a lot of things. Right. So now all of a sudden I come in and I'm like, oh man, I make this delicious, and you're like, And I'm like, all right.
You just got to find a way.
I figure, I start playing around with different flavors, until you come up with something that is similar to that dish. Because like a lot of times it's self-serving, right? You cook because you like to cook and you like the things that you're coming up with. So it's like, I don't know how to explain that. I guess like your palate is what you're trying to like, kind of push forth. Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to express your palate.
Your palate, like you and having to chime in with a certain person and then a family. So it's like, not only is it
this
like
one
mom
is
and
that,
dad,
that one is this one is this.
And then depending on what family you work for, there could be a housekeeper who's been there for 35 years.
Yeah.
Who like,
you better keep her happy.
You better keep her happy.
Yeah.
Or you bet your sweet ass that something's going to come your way. There's going to be magic complaints about you all the time. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, you won't know what you did wrong, but all of a sudden there'll be like doors left open magically.
Right.
And they'll be like, you were at the grill. And you're like, and they're like, hey, it's your response. You didn't check. I don't know.
Maybe next time you shouldn't be putting ketchup on my.
The chef, in a lot of ways, is like the larger than life figure in a restaurant. They're the heart and soul of the restaurant. So, we just got a little technical difficulty.
Yeah, there you go.
So everything to the chef has to be important. That's why it's like you're right when you say that there is a separation between the kitchen and the front. But a chef will
he's the one
that goes. He'll even comment on the decor. He'll comment on when the meals come out. Obviously the presentation, all that stuff, because the chef is like the end. He's the guy that makes the final say. Yeah,
and well, that's something that another thing, the transition from back of the house chef to private chef is you're going from where you're the man, your word is law. If you say quiet, it's fucking quiet.
Yeah.
If you say like another thing comes out of this fucking kitchen, whatever, everyone stops. Your voice is of serious authority, or it should be.
Yeah.
When you're in someone's home, you're the help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're like Mr. Belvedere now.
Mm-hmm.
You're like hanging out. Like,
hey,
your character. Listen to my jokes and watch me cut my heels.
Yeah, that's where it comes down to like the mingling and the social
absolutely. And you have to know when to hold them and fold them.
Yep.
You can't be. Yep. I've definitely said more than I should before. Kind of run my mouth and there'll be a private conversation between my family that I work for.
Yeah.
But they're chatting away, and I'll be like, well, there's always this point of view that is absolutely not yours, and nor do you ask for it. And I'm just gonna.
But I will serve it to you the same way I gave you that side of potatoes.
Exactly. Sometimes I get like the dumb look, like. Really, Jeff?
Really, wow. But also, it sounds like, because I've talked to you about your gig that you have and stuff, it sounds like you're kind of part of the family as well.
I love my family.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you guys
that I work for are like a family away from a family.
Yeah.
My other family.
That's cool.
I don't think I could. I think if this ever ended, I would just branch off into doing other things.
Yeah.
I don't think I would want to do private work.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
So you started to get into the fine dining thing out west, right? And then and then did you come back to New York, or how long did you stay out there for?
I was out there. I worked in that kitchen for about a year and a half, and then I came back via Chicago for about 6 months, and I worked in a restaurant there. This Italian place, kind of a small, kind of trattoria, kind of it's one crazy guinea that yelled at me all day. It was like, one of those kind of places. I lasted about 3 or 4 months. And this is also while I'm a complete savage.
Yeah, you're
young,
like partying,
DJing. I'm going to raves. I'm like halfway into Dead shows. I'm a psychedelic astronaut.
I love it.
It's like I'm out there at this point. That's great. And then I moved back to Ithaca. I went home, kind of like hung out with my mom for a day. It was like I can't do this. Went back to Ithaca, hung out there, and. Kind of bummed around for a little bit, and then met this guy Danio, who was a chef. I actually ran a bakery for a little while. I learned how to make pastry, cookies, and all this kind of shit. I had a friend who was a baker, and he was like, "Dude, you need a job." So I was like, "Sure." So I was like baking and bouncing at night at this other place.
Is a very interesting combination.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
He's like, hey, get the fuck out of here. And by the way, there's some good baguettes down the road.
I got some cupcakes in the back of my car.
If you just hang in your car till 5:30, we open, and you'll get
got some cheesecake in the back.
Yeah. No, it's funny enough is they had a cot in the basement of that place in the a locker room.
Yeah.
Because it was a bakery. Like they knew that I would get the key and I would come in after work from one place and just pass out on the cot sometimes.
And then just get
and
up.
They'd come in and be like, Jeff, get up. And I would get up at like 5:30 and be like,
you're like
donuts.
No, you're like this. You're like, hey, get out of here. You're out of here. Oh, wait, no, it's my other job. Oh, wait, where's my pastry? Where's my pastry bar? That's funny. That's funny. So you met this guy, and that's kind of what got you like.
Who I'd met before, and we didn't really get along. He was kind of crazy. Like he was he was a Hungarian dude. He was like well known for just like screaming at patrons or his wife or whomever. He was just like a real psycho, but I loved him. Like we became really close. So anyway, he came to me in the comments like, I heard you cook. And I'm like, well, kind of. And he's like, I heard the home dairy is closing. Now you need a job, yes? And I was like, yeah, actually I do. He's like, good, tomorrow 5. And I'm like, all right, great. So I showed up at 5.
Sounds like the dude in Rounders.
Well, just because all my accents are terrible.
Aces? They're all the same. It's all Russian.
It's either Russian, Spanish, and just maybe Filipino.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't stay in an accent. Like I'll start as a Middle Eastern man, and before you know it, I'm a Colombian fella.
I was trying to do the Ultimate Warrior yesterday to Plum, and I kept going. I thought I was doing Minnesota, and he's like, was the Ultimate Warrior Mexican? And I was like, is that what I'm doing? He's like, absolutely, dude. Sounds so really funny. Mexican. And I was like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, I'm always curious about what chefs' opinions are about like going on TV and doing these shows, because I've heard both sides, and personally I don't really have an opinion. On one hand, it can really help get your name out there, but I've also heard that it's kind of its own little machine that it, kind of chews you up and spits you out. So what are your thoughts on using TV and that stuff to market yourself as a chef?
Good question, Chase. No, what I think about that is that with anything, you can use it to your advantage if you want to, or you can assume that it's going to make you a rock star, and it's, like, listen, everything you do requires hard work. There's no easy way out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like life is like, start making money, you're going to need to make more money, and you're going to have more fucking problems to make more of that money that you think you need. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you get on TV and you get 10,000 Instagram followers, you don't get a medal. There's no Twinkies. You don't get an extra cookie. There's nothing. You know what I mean? You just all of a sudden have that. If you then get a product that you want to market and you want to reach out, you want to push yourself, and you want to work on making a personal brand or whatever, then I think absolutely get on TV. Get your fucking name out, even if you lose.
Yeah.
I know people. I have several friends that and Plum that we were good friends with a few people through the show that they've lost. Food Next Star. They were losers.
They still get deals,
and they're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
They're killing it.
Yeah.
They're like judges here on this thing.
It's about the personality
representing
too.
Stuff because they're hitting it.
Yeah.
They're not just using that as like the end. It's not like, oh, now I have a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Lean
like,
into it. Yeah.
It's like, well, what are you gonna do with that deal?
Yeah.
If you don't have a concept, like it's like same thing with Top Chef or any of these other shows. Like some of the guys, you hear them, like they win, they take that money and they dump it into a restaurant, and they actually have a vision and they're doing something and it does well. Mm-hmm. And then some guys you never hear about.
Yeah.
They lack the vision, or they lack the actual concept to do something. You know what I mean?
And just the management of it. Like
well,
some people are
execution.
Good. Yeah, it's the execution.
So much
because listen, everybody's got ideas. It's the execution. It's the hard part, right?
Yeah,
that's
right,
what we all struggle with. So,
dude, pipe dreams are a dime a dozen. It's like we could all sit around and come up with great ideas.
Yeah.
But it's like how to get to that idea, setting those goals, and doing all the things that you need to do to get there. That's
that's the journey, man. That's the hard part.
That's exactly the hard part.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly the thing that.
So this guy kind of got you into baking a little bit.
No, he got me into back into fine dining, but he basically I didn't really take cooking very seriously until I worked for Daniel. I was always like good at it.
It's because he screamed at you.
He screamed at me.
Take this shit serious. What are you doing?
Like I can't even. He just died not too long ago, so I don't want to cry because I like Paul because I love him. I was just telling Plum I still haven't erased his messages on my phone.
Yeah.
From whatever.
I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah, it's actually been 2 years now that I think about it, but it's like it just feels like yesterday. But it's he became like a dad. I didn't really have a father growing up, so he was like this guy that like he like loved me. Like he loved me in a way that I didn't understand that until after I'd actually left. Like after we'd I wasn't working under him every day, like, and I went to other kitchens and I was fucking miles ahead of other line cooks and other people, and I could see things the way like real chefs saw things. I remember calling him and just like being like, dude,
thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like it was like a Miyagi moment, you know?
Now
it was like,
I get it.
Like, it was like wax on, wax off.
That's why you had me do
that. I'm fucking the man. You know, and I was like, you know,
that's
like,
why you had me do it.
Yeah,
I get it now.
It was like this beautiful thing, and you know, we stood really close over the years, and but so he really inspired me to like.
And that's what kind of really pushed you into, okay, this is my career opportunity. This is what I'm going to go down this route.
I realized I had something. Like I realized like, and he
that's
also
great,
pushed
though,
me into
like
some books that I had read. There was one book, Culinary Artistry. I actually read at that exact same time too, which is a book by Karen Page and Andrew Donnenberg, I think it is. It's a really great book, but it talks about how you know, using your palate the same way you would use to express yourself, the same way you might use music to express yourself, the way you might use colors to express yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
So it blew my mind reading this book. I remember it was like, you know, like, in the God of I'm like reading this book, and I'm like, and I was like, holy shit. Like, and then like I remember like having this moment, like they in there, this one line where it talks about like, you know, there's like a foundation for every musical piece. There's a foundation for every food piece, you know, and then, and the thing was like, you know, you might want to use something like an acid. There's a protein. There's a fat. There's salt. There's like, you know, these certain flavors that are in everything that has a balance. Exactly. And there's a guitar, a bass, a vocal, or whatever, right? And it's like, so when you want to add,
the harmony.
you want to add like in the bass, you want it to be, a little bluesy maybe, so you'll be like, all right, dude, play that in flat, you know, like let's like, you know, no, let's sharpen it up. I want to do like a jazzy hot note, you know, like okay, you can do the same thing with food. It's like now with that acid, it's like I could add balsamic, which is like sharp, like bright, you know, in your face, sweet, or I could throw in like soy sauce. You know what I mean? Which still has a little acid, but it's a totally different. You know,
it's pretty cool.
And my mind, and next thing you know, I was like, I just got like so fired up and passionate about food. I remember that summer, I just like, I had read, I started reading a lot of books too. I read earlier that year. I had read what the hell is this? The fucking book? Everyone's read it. Kitchen Confidential.
Yep.
And I kind of had seen. I all of a sudden saw my place in the kitchen. I was like, I don't fit in with these other. Like I could never do an office job. I just can't. I'm not built that way. Like I'm not built in a traditional office manner. I just can't do it. Like not for long. I mean, I can do it, but it's not like
it's not something you enjoy.
And it just became like this thing. I just like started buying cookbooks every day, and I was like really into it.
Just really throwing yourself into.
Yeah, I worked for a couple really great chefs in Ithaca that were you know, kind of doing some like really cool food. Like they were trying to push the envelope at the time, you know. I mean, it was like mid 90s, so it was like, you know, just high food and shit. It wasn't like really pushing envelopes or breaking any boundaries. But I mean, we were still, it was like we were doing our thing, and it was cool. And like I learned like how to like kind of like experiment and get into it. And I kept reading books and getting really passionate. And then I moved to the Hamptons. I followed my wife, who I'd met in Ithaca, who was a massage therapist at the time. She just became a massage therapist. She's smoking hot. And like I was like, wherever you're going, I'm going. Like, you know, like you like me, you let me lay next to you.
There's restaurants everywhere. I'll find one.
I wasn't even going to cook. We went out to the Hamptons. I met this guy. He was a landscaper, and he offered me a job, $25 an hour to mow lawns. And I was like, hold on, cash? And he's like, yeah, dude. I was like,
let's go.
I literally said, I was like, Amber, I don't think I'm ever going to cook again. She was like, what? I thought you loved it. I was like, I don't know, $25 in cash.
Yeah, I know.
To mow lawns. I can smoke joints all day. It's going to be amazing. What am I going to do? It's going to be so good.
Yeah, right?
And I lasted, you know, mowing lawns for maybe a month. And then, like, I was bar back in. And then another restaurant, actually, another chef walked out. And a good friend of mine became the chef. And
that's what's brought you back in. Brought you back in.
He was a roommate of mine. And he offered me the gig to work with him because he really needed help getting organized. And he knew I cooked.
Yep.
And he was like a Navy cook, and he knew I had done fine dining, and this was like a New Orleans style supper club.
Yep.
And so I came in with him. I was trying to help him. He was the chef. He was kind of running it the way he wanted to run it. He changed everything up. It became, the food was tasty, but it was more like what I don't want to offend him if he was ever listening, but I used to call that kind of food pop and slop because it's like, it's all about getting it the fuck out of the kitchen as fast as you can, and it's all about like, you know, mixed veg on every plate with this kind of potato, and like a different protein kind of thing. You know, like there's those kind of places that, you know, I mean, sure, you can do 700 covers a night, but it's like from a culinary standpoint, it's I don't know if it's not my favorite thing to do. They offered me his job. I told him they offered me his job. He was like, don't take it. I was like, I wouldn't take it because like we're roommates and I like you. And then he like didn't come to work one day. I can't remember what he did. Something happened where he didn't come to work. Like he like took some other gig and like lied. So that they fired him. They were like, I was like downstairs getting my coat. I heard her crying in the office and I was just like, hey, what's going on? And she was like, I don't know what we're going to do. You know, there's 3 months left or 2 months left in the season. We have a chef. And I totally bullshitted. And I was like, you know, I summer to New Orleans every year. Yeah. And she was like, really? And I was like, absolutely. I'm like, let me come in tomorrow and I'll cook you an amazing dinner. And if you like it, we'll discuss pay. And she was like, great. So I like went home. I like busted out the Paul Prudhomme book and I just started like reading and like, you know, I woke up early in the morning, went to the grocery store. I'm like cooking a couple things. My wife was like, you're so fucking crazy. And I'm like, watch out.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
I'm on fire. I'm making it happen. And I went in. I made it happen. I got a great deal. And then I became like the executive chef of this place in the summer in the Hamptons.
That's awesome.
And then I snowballed that into another one. I was a place in Sag Harbor. I was a chef of a place for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
That we did pretty well. And then after that, took over a catering company for like another 5 years.
Look who it is.
It was big time.
We got
Chef
Plum.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brother. The Pluminator. Hey, brother. Nice.
And after that, after I was in the
friends.
Hey, brother.
What's up?
We were in the after the catering company, I became a private chef. And also, absolutely by accident, I was catering. I was doing a great catering company, Art of Eating. Shout out, East Hampton, Bridgehampton, doing tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of fucking weddings and like. You know, I just remember being like, you know, 14, 15 parties a week. Yeah. 200-300 a party. And like, it was just so crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm at this barbecue. Yeah. There's this kid at the barbecue and who now we're really close friends. His name's Matt. And he's going, man, this family, they're making me nuts. And I'm like, so I chime in because I'm thinking, I like to bitch about my family.
Yeah.
No.
Let's get in this.
So he starts telling me and I'm like, well, what are you talking about, man? He's like, oh, I work for this family. And I'm like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I cook. And I was like, really? I'm like, how many people do you cook for? He was like, 6. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, how much you make? And he's like, like $120.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
6 people.
I was like, 6 people. And I was like, man, I got to get in here.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude.
You're like, I need a family like that I can bitch about.
Yeah. I was like, how did you get into that? He's like, actually, I'm leaving. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
It's like, you want to give him my resume? He was like, I would love to do that for you.
Yeah.
And so he got me in the door. I cooked and the rest is history. And then I became private chef. I've been there for
So this
10
is
years.
the family that you're with now?
Yeah, I've been there for 10 years.
10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then
so they're in Manhattan.
Yep. Manhattan.
And
out in the Hamptons.
And you and your family live in
Southampton.
Okay.
Yep. And they're also in the Hamptons. So
they're okay.
Yeah, they're
that's
both,
cool.
You know, we summer in the Hamptons and the year in the it's a typical Manhattan family.
Yeah, so you're sometimes obviously in the winter months.
Yes.
You're
So in the winter months,
and then you're probably what, Thursday to Sunday in the Hamptons, or what is it?
No,
or
actually,
during the week.
Yeah, I'm actually Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in the Hamptons usually, and then the rest of the week in Manhattan. And my family, like we homeschool, so my kids and my wife can kind of come in whenever they want.
Yeah,
kind of like they'll come in and do museums.
Wow, your wife is Superwoman, huh? Jesus
my wife is
Christ.
amazing.
Wow,
you have no idea, and she's a
homeschool
massage
the kids, massage therapist.
No,
like,
she's a great cook.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, she keeps my house beautiful. I mean, she makes me a better guy. I can't say enough nice things about her.
That's awesome, man. That's great. So how did you meet? So how did you and Plum run into each other?
Through the agency, actually.
Okay.
I started the agency with a guy named Jack Kelly. We went our separate ways a couple years ago. You know, I had cancer. I just realized that I didn't want to. Which I'd beaten. Everything was over. I just realized I'm putting all my energy into this agency and I don't really like agencies. Like for me, I was just like, at this time, it just started feeling like dirty work. It just was like not something that I was really into doing. I had a different idea. I'm kind of a hippie. I'm like, I just want everyone to make more money and be happy.
Everyone to cook good food.
Yeah,
man.
And there's like a business side to it.
Yeah, and you got to be a little bit.
You got to be hard.
And it's not really who you are.
Yeah, and you also have to like. I started doing the chef thing why I wanted to leave being a chef in the first place, which is like I'm screaming at people and I'm getting upset and like I'm like taking things personally that I shouldn't, and I just didn't. It got ugly. So me and Plum had met through the agency. He called, and we hit it off.
Yep.
Like, good brothers. I think we started talking about the Jake the Snake documentary 5 minutes in, and I told him it made me cry. And he's like, "There's nothing to be ashamed about that, brother." And I was like, "You're absolutely right, man. You're right."
Oh, man, that is so freaking funny.
He's still around, right? Jake the Snake's still around.
Yeah, he's still around. He's still
he's a full-on drug addict.
You just cried because his
is
wife
he still a drug addict? Like,
well, he was.
Did he get clean?
He got clean.
He was bad, dude.
Well, that's the whole documentary was put on Diamond Dallas Page. Shout out, and basically to help him get his life back, and it was him doing DP yoga and like with who was the other dude? Ramon. What the hell is his name? Yeah, Ramon. I think it was like he had the
Razor Ramon.
Yeah,
Razor Ramon. I pulled him up just for chasing the guy. I go, yo, check this dude out, and he's like, yo, is that guy serious? It's like, Razor Ramon. That guy was he was one of the best. Like the way he played it, he was one of the best, bro. You got that little curl came down. Man, that's hilarious. That's
instant respect for that guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you call yourself Razor Ramon,
you better be. Yeah,
it's on fire.
So you guys met through there, and then
so we went through there. We hit it off. He had the podcast. He invited me to come on as a guest.
How long have you guys known each other for?
2014.
Nice.
Yeah, we met in 2014. We met in person probably in 2015, or maybe that summer. I don't know. Maybe, I think it was 2015 we probably met, and then I did a podcast a few times, just like preliminary, just as a guest, like round table. We talked about the agency. You know, we obviously hit it off. We always. We started talking like once a week, then once a week turned into like twice a week, then it turned into like 3 times a week, then it was like, hey, come on the podcast more often.
And it was like, hey, you're my co-host.
Well, now we're hosting more like together. Actually, it kind of happened real organically. Like I'm always, we became friends, so I was like really I've always been encouraging him of his brand. Like I just believe in Plum. I think he's like one of the most magnanimous I think guys I've ever met in my life. Like he just like. He comes in the room, he lights it up, everyone comes into him. It's like I just see that in him. I think it's awesome.
I could tell when we were working on the on set on the
Elite Chef
stuff.
Yeah, oh absolutely.
I can tell by how you talk about him to me that you are that support for him.
I love him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's awesome. I think it's great. I think you guys have a great relationship.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He's my brother.
Your tag team partner, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, it's not another brother I would rather be in the ring with.
Right.
So when I left the agency and I was like closing that part of my life, I just reached out and said like, hey, dude, how about I take over this like producer role for you? Like, let me just help.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want any money. I don't want anything. I just love you. I believe in the brand.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do.
Let's grow this. Yeah.
Let's just see if I can help. Like, let me send emails. Like, and he was like, dude, that would be a huge help. And then like, of course, and it wasn't like I just got it overnight. It was like, he had to like send me a few emails like, no, dude, you have to send them like this.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Because I'm like, yo, come on the podcast. It's going to be fantastic. He's like, no, dude, no. Like this one. I was like, oh, yeah,
That's funny.
And like little things like that. Like the first time I was on you learn things about yourself when you talk on air and have to hear it again later. Yes. That you don't realize, like all the crazy words you use.
Yes, that's what we spoke about too. That's what he said as well. He was like filler words and like
my wife
crutch words. That's what he
crutch
called
words,
them. Crutch words,
fill words, whatever they are.
Yep.
I have a million of them.
We all do. We all do.
I say so much. My wife hates it. Every time I say what I mean, she's like, yes, Jeff, because I speak the English language and you've said it to me 3 times. Yes, Jeff, I know what you mean because I love that. I have ears.
Yeah.
Yes, and like I'm always like, fuck.
I got a good question for you about that I'd love to get your opinion about that I see as kind of a trend happening with especially Gordon Ramsay stuff. The 24-hour thing that he does, the hell or whatever it is. What is it?
Yeah,
the 24-hour.
It's
where he flips the restaurant within whatever
Hell's
like
Kitchen
day or
something.
It's not Hell's Kitchen. It's the newest one that he's doing.
I don't know the newest one.
Restaurant Makeover? No, that's John.
Restaurant
John
Rescue.
Taffer. Restaurant Rescue.
What is it?
Hell and Back or something like that.
Oh, Hell and Back.
I'm not sure. Whatever it is, right? This is the theme that I've been seeing, and this has happened 4 times that I've noticed just in Connecticut. He comes in, he does that. Restaurants booming. They're out of business in 6 months.
Really?
Or a year.
Really?
Yep. Just happened with Vazzi's in Waterbury.
Kitchen Nightmares?
Kitchen Nightmares, yeah. So Vazzi's is good. Vazzi's So Vazzi's they have 2 restaurants. I guess they had Spartans, and then they had Vazzi's, which is more of like their fine dining. Spartans is their pizza and stuff like that. So he came in there, and I mean it was huge publicity. I mean huge, and it's almost like in my mind I'm thinking like the shit that you gotta go through, like the shit that you gotta go like. He roasts the shit out of you in front of your family, your friends. Like you get your dick kicked in literally for like, and I'm like, okay, well if it's just a straight rocket to the top, then yeah, it's worth it. Yeah. And then you find out that these places closed too, and you just got belittled on TV a year ago. Yeah. There's one in literally just 2 of them. Vazzi's was one that just closed, and then the one in Seymour.
Waterbury.
No, the one in Seymour.
Okay.
Vazzi's is in Waterbury. It's in Oxford or it's in Seymour. So, like, what do you think? Do you think that they're already ready to close their doors and this is like their?
I would think that if you were reaching out to a show called Restaurant Nightmare or Kitchen Nightmare,
you're already
probably in a shitty way.
You got to get out.
You might be in a bad way, and it's like if you're willing to let. Chef Ramsay berate you on television about all the things that you don't do correctly in your restaurant. Yeah. And then possibly don't learn from it.
That's what I'm saying.
Possibly. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the situation. I haven't watched the shows. I've never been to Vazzi's or any of these places.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe if I was, I could give a better opinion. Like if I went to, I guarantee that if I went to a restaurant and then it became a Kitchen Nightmare restaurant and then I went to it again, then I went again, I could have a very clear opinion exactly what I think
what direction
went
was
down there, but it's hard to like make a
a pump and dump.
My other question for you is this is what baffles me. Ready? So when they do this and then they have the opening night after Ramsay comes in there and everything, right?
Absolutely.
And the place is packed, right?
Yeah.
Jam packed. Like, what makes you think that just because they didn't like that they would use the sauce for too long and it was probably bad, or they used the bad chicken and Gordon Ramsay bitched it? What happens when he's gone in 2 weeks?
Well, that's exactly right.
They're going to go back to using the chicken that's probably bad, or the burger that fell on the floor, or right? I can't understand why people go to these places.
Brother, you can't teach integrity.
You're still the same people,
you
right?
can't teach integrity.
Isn't it to raise the value so they could do more sales and then exit with a better deal than when they actually? It's called a pump and dump. I feel like you guys have been dancing around what it actually. It's a pump and dump. Is what the show is.
I mean, basically, they probably have something invested into it, And then
but they close though. There's no dump. The dump is they close. They don't actually sell it though.
Yeah, but at least they get out.
That's their plan.
They get out better than when they went in.
Or they maybe. This is just, I'm going on a limb. Maybe they really want to help some of these restaurants, but like you said, there's way bigger problems than you can fix in 24 hours with bitching at one guy who's in his 50s.
Yeah.
About why he's using bad chicken.
Yeah.
Come on. It's like this fucking guy's using.
It's going to take more than that.
It's going to take a lot more than that. If you're that old, you own a restaurant, you're an entrepreneur, this is your baby, and you're doing that shit and not thinking about it, and you think it's cool, I would question your integrity.
Yeah.
I would question who you think you are in the dark. Like, what the shit that you think you can get away with is probably pretty fucking bizarre. And I
They boil their burgers and shit.
Yeah,
they literally boil their...
That's a Connecticut treat.
Well,
come on. We boil our burgers up here. Steamers or steamers
That's
or whatever.
Steaming. That's steaming. They actually... I'm like talking boiling, this guy puts a burger in a bag and then he boils it in water or something.
What the hell are you talking about?
I saw this on a YouTube video in one of the restaurants he went into.
That's hilarious.
He boiled a burger.
That's funny.
So my question for you, what's your bag, man? What's your favorite kind of food? Like, what's your favorite cuisine? What's your dish? Give us your flavor.
I don't know, man.
You like it? Are you a big Italian cooking?
I cook Italian food. I cook a lot of
bit of everything.
Yeah,
mine's Italian.
A bit of everything.
Pizza, chicken parm, pasta.
Nordic white guy talking about
dude, I'm like an honorary Italian. If you actually look at the clips of the last couple episodes, I've been speaking so much with my hands.
I do the same.
It's too much. It's too much.
So much you disconnected the headphones.
I'm like, Scott, if you just think about this and think about this, and you put them together. No, it's like,
this is what
dude,
he tells me.
Was I born in the motherland?
We go out, listen to this. We go out and we drink way too many beers, and we come back to my house, and he's sitting there telling my daughter, she's 11, in 6th grade, he's like, Macy, listen, when you're sitting in class and your teacher asks a question and she calls on you and you don't know the answer, what I want you to do is I want you to put your hands like this, and I want you to look at her, and I want you to just keep talking in circles and act like you're smarter than her, and you'll get out of it. You'll be good. I'm like, what are you? And then he's like, and excellent you also advice. Need to die with the lie. Like, no matter what, like, just blame it on somebody else. Just blame it on somebody else. Oh, it was.
She knows the story.
Yeah, she's a good kid, so I let it.
She's a good kid.
Meanwhile, I'm giving her a megaphone in Philly out in front of the stadium, right? Awesome. Oh, it's hilarious. So, all right, bro. Well, now it is time. What time is it, Chase?
Mack Move.
What
or
time
Wack Move.
is it? It is time.
I can't wait.
For Mack Move or Wack Move. Tell Jeffy and tell our audience what Mack Move or Wack Move is all about.
All right, Chef Jeff, today we got a special segment of Mack Move or Wack Move because it's all food centric. And yes, Mack Move or Wack Move is basically, we try to focus on business topics in the news, right? And then we pitch them to you.
Lighthearted.
You tell us, you use the sign, you tell us whether it's a Mack Move, obviously a good thing, Wack Move, bad thing, you agree with it, disagree with it.
He's got a sign over there.
Wack or Mack.
I got my sign, you got your sign. We're going to start off with topic number 1.
Yes.
All right, topic number 1.
Let's do this. I'm ready.
Sorry, guys, I got to pull it up on my phone. All right, topic number 1. Snoop Dogg just collaborated with Dunkin' Donuts to create the Beyond DOGG breakfast sandwich. And what it is it's egg, cheese, Beyond sausage patty. Beyond sausage is Beyond meat, which is not meat.
I'm familiar.
Inside of a glazed donut that's cut in half.
I'm going to go first.
Just blew your mind with
As you know, Chase, you've heard me tell my story of when I went on a bender at the Borgata and I was playing poker all night and I walked out of there at around 9 o'clock in the morning and I ate a ham and cheese sandwich in between a glazed donut. So it was the glazed donut was pretty much the bread.
Yeah.
Seemed awesome until I got in the car, started eating it. You know, by the time I got to like the Jersey Turnpike, my whole entire steering wheel was just sticky as shit. So that wasn't ideal.
Not a good move in the
I
car.
love the idea about that type of sandwich. Yeah. I love the idea about Snoop Dogg, but I'm gonna go Wack Move because I'm not down with the meat that's not meat, like the fake meat that's actually worse.
But
for
is
you
it the
than meat.
bun? It's the meat.
It's the meat.
Okay, I thought you were going to say
I'm on with the bun. I'm down with that.
Oh, you're on with
down
that.
with
Okay.
that.
Down
And
with
I
the
like the
donut.
fact that they did that. But I'm going to go Wack Move.
Okay.
Just because it does seem like a stoner's delight, kind of, and that's why they're using Snoop Dogg. I think that's pretty funny. The only way this could actually be any more Snoop Dogg-ish better is if they had CBD in the fucking donut.
If it was infused.
If it was glazed, it was CBD glazed donut.
Yeah, what the hell? You can't even call it a Snoop Dogg DOGG without the weed.
Without some reefer.
Yeah,
there,
without
right?
some reefer.
So
I'm
going I'm going Wack Move. Jeffy, what you got?
I think I'm gonna second your Wack Move just because I hate that Beyond stuff. It's got 3 or 4 times the sodium of regular stuff. It doesn't make any sense.
We're just
to me.
so stupid. We're so dumb.
People are gonna have hypertension.
It's gonna be
this
bad.
year.
Yeah,
it's happening.
Yeah,
if you're vegan and you're eating just Beyond burgers, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Just eat some vegetables and stop pretending to not want to eat meat. I don't understand what you're doing.
Chaser.
Oh, jeez. Excuse me. Whoa.
Speaking of Snoop Dogg,
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Am I okay? All right. So with this Snoop Dogg thing, my thing is this: is that there's egg in it. So if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, then it already defeats the purpose of it.
Ooh.
Correct? I mean, there's egg in it. I mean, I did the research. You know, I spent hours and hours researching this, and there is, in fact, egg, which is a type of meat. It's classified as a meat. Defeats the purpose. Number 2, the Beyond Patty thing, it's advertised as a vegan alternative to meat. So it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be as close to meat as possible. It's not supposed, but it's not like a healthy alternative, is what I'm saying.
But I feel as though they're like,
yeah, but they're
preaching
touting
that
it as a healthier.
without saying
they're
it.
technically
No,
they're
without
not.
saying
Technically they're not.
Okay, but
technically they're not.
They're using vegan the way
but they're not advertising
Bush uses
it.
natural and organic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it, but they're not. If you ask that, they're not actually saying like this is a healthy alternative. They're saying this is an alternative.
No, but I think
meat.
it's just perception that people have.
Yes,
that it is
yeah.
Like,
so I'm gonna go ahead. This is a consensus quake.
Yes, sir.
Consensus quake. Wack Move.
And we hit that.
I love Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
I love Snoop Dogg. Usually everything he does.
It's good branding.
Shout out.
His show with Martha Stewart, I love that too. That's awesome.
That guy better be at the Mohegan
it.
Wine and Son show. Snoop. No,
I don't think
he
he's
was
there
with
this year.
he was
a
with
few
Martha.
years ago. Yeah.
Yep. All right, Chase. Bro,
Um,
are you okay, dude?
I don't know, man. I might not make it through this episode. All right, guys. Topic number 2 is actually a video. So Scott, if you could link that up for us. So it's Bud Light Seltzer.
Here we go.
I'm Randy Diaz, mayor of Seltzer, Pennsylvania. If you love Bud Light like me, you'll love Bud Light Seltzer. It's a hard seltzer from Bud Light. It comes in 4 flavors and tastes great. Bud Light Seltzer. It's unquestionably good. If you don't love Bud Light, you'll love Bud Light Seltzer. It's not Bud Light, it's hard seltzer. It comes in 4 flavors and tastes great. Bud Light Seltzer. It's unquestionably good. Questions? Call us now.
So Bud Light is getting into the seltzer game,
Yeah, I don't like it.
correct? Yeah. And so what is exactly the Mack Move or the Wack Move? Whether they're in the game or that commercial?
I think it's on autoplay, bro. You got to stop it. So what's your question?
So what is the Mack Move or Wack Move? The commercial or them getting into the seltzer?
Well, I mean, we talked about it being the commercial, but I think that I think we should talk about the actual product and say is Bud Light Seltzer a Mack Move or a Wack Move?
I mean,
by Bud Light.
All right. So here's the thing. Like, do I think that it's a little bit cheesy or whatever? I mean, I do, but also like, fuck it, they got to cash in and they're big enough to. So like from a business standpoint, like, no, I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's cool they're doing it, but I do think that they're big enough that they're going to make a shitload of money off of it and they're going to run it down people's throat.
Yeah.
And they're going to get this whole new, now they're going to get like the Bud Heavy drinkers now drinking this shit, smoking a Marlboro, drinking, oh, bro, I got a Bud Light. I got a Bud. I'm
Bud
okay.
Seltzer.
It's seltzer. As long as it's Bud Seltzer, it's good. So I'll go Mack Move just because I want them to, like, I feel as though they're capitalizing on it. Like, I'm not a seltzer drinker like this guy is. I don't walk around with a 12-pack of White Claw like this guy. But White Claw it's not even just a seltzer. It's a lifestyle, bro. White Claw.
Yeah,
is
it is.
Not?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What do you got, Jeffy?
I just hate
what are you
seltzer.
going with?
I just hate
I'm
it.
not into it. That's another thing that I think is just as bad. Like, they try to be like, okay, oh, it's low in grams. How
bullshit.
the fuck does it taste so sweet?
It's just bullshit.
Because it's gonna kill you.
It doesn't taste to me. It doesn't taste good at all.
Yeah.
Like every time I get forced to drink one because I'm drunk and they're out of beer. And they're like,
and you need to hydrate too.
Exactly. And they're like, well, we have this. Dude, try the black cherry. No, trust me, the black cherry's where it's at. Try the black cherry, bro.
Are you doing
black
an impression
cherry's
of
good,
me?
bro?
I think you're doing chasing his
doing
boys
a
right now.
Oh. And then I get the black cherry, I drink it, and every time I go, you know what? It's like at first you're like, yes, and then you're like, ugh, what else is in this? What the fuck is in it? Like,
Kawhi likes it. That's fucking hilarious. So,
Wack Move.
of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm a flip flopper. I flip flop a lot. I've been a Bud Light. I've been a Bud Light guy. I'm a Bud Light guy. I'm a Coors Light guy.
They call that fluid.
I also will say that I was a White Claw guy, and I was a big seltzer guy, and that was during the summertime when it's okay to drink seltzer. I think I'm more encouraged to drink seltzer in the summertime. This just feels derivative. Feels like they know what they're ripping everybody off. First of all the flavors are the same. It's black cherry, it's lime, it's lemon. It's all the same flavors as all the other companies.
Yeah.
So they're just ripping it off. And now I've flip-flopped from being a seltzer guy to now I hate the stuff. I drank one last night.
Wait until
I drank one
summer
last
comes.
night. I drank one last night. It was my mom's birthday, and actually my parents are trying to do the low-calorie thing, and they're drinking White Claws. My parents. And I have to say that I there's something about seltzer that I wake up in the morning and I've never puked, but I always feel like I want to puke. It hurts my stomach.
Yeah.
It feels
probably
like
whatever
somebody,
the chemical that's
whatever
in there
that's
that they're
in
using
there
to make it taste somewhat
and
sweet.
Scott's waiting
Beaver
for
gland.
somebody to either die or be hospitalized by a seltzer.
Yeah, I
he's
keep
waiting
saying
for it. And I don't think he's hoping for it, but he's waiting for
that
it.
and the vapes, bro.
It's gonna be a kid.
And the Beyond Meat too. All that shit is. It's all
the Beyond Meat's gonna give everybody hypertension.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much sodium in it. It's like there's just no way around it. It's like.
So MSG in there too. Sodium MSG. It's like a Chinese restaurant.
I like, it's the Chinese restaurant of beverages, and I feel like I usually like to go a separate direction as everybody else with these things.
But he just wants the Jeremy Renner.
No, but it's a whack move. I hate it.
I went Mack Move.
I'm not gonna drink one.
I went Mack Move, so it's not.
All right. Well, I agree with Chef Jeff.
Really
it's not a full thing.
Every time you hit that.
One thing that I know, that's why we have it in there.
It's like an orgasm. It's like
this dude would drink those White Claws like they were water. He'd come over my house in the summer with
they basically are
12 pack.
I would smash 12.
And he would be like, "Bro, I'm hydrating." He'd open one and be like,
hydrating.
I'm hydrating, dude. And then he just throws it like.
So I'm a flip flopper, and I just want to say that I think part of being in your 20s is flip flopping. Because you got to find out what it's okay. It's more okay when you're 20s. Dude, and you're flip flopping.
Wait till you get your fucking ass kicked from flip flopping, then we'll see what happens, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
What would I get my ass kicked for?
I don't know, bro. One, you're with the shooter on the pass line. Next thing you know, you're against the shooter on the pass line. You know, you're throwing some bones. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Be careful with that.
That's actually my move, honestly. That's the shit that I do all the time. That's my total move. I play a hybrid version of craps and poker. I look at you and I'm like, this guy is fucking mush. He's gonna crap out. And then I bet against him. Or I'm like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's got no money in front of him. He's on just the point. He's gonna roll forever. Yeah. That's what I do. It's a hybrid version.
Dude, we're gonna play craps together.
We're gonna get it done.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
my favorite
everybody
game.
hates me.
Nobody plays.
I go to Chase, like me and Chase will be in the dope pass line, and I go like this to him. I go, all right, so I know we high five when the guy rolls the point. I'm like, but let's just keep it low if he craps out, all right? Because no one else is gonna be cool with us, so we start throwing high fives. Like, it's hilarious though.
Don't celebrate too much.
Dude, they look at you like the old people when you're playing in the dope, like you just. Where you're standing, it's like, get off my lawn.
Oh, absolutely.
Is what it is. And it's like, bro, I'm just trying to ride whatever the way the table's going. Like, I don't give a shit.
I drink and get way too fucked up at those places.
Yeah, I love it.
I make the worst decisions with money.
We're going to make so many bad decisions together next weekend. It's going to be so much fun.
I'm just roll up, and I'm just like, hit it.
Oh, my God, I'm so excited for this.
So just to let everybody know, Jeffy,
yes.
Plum is going to be on stage at
Plum
Mohegan
is hosting
Sun.
the Coke stage Friday and Saturday. We're gonna do a demo together. I'm always with him. Riding.
So it's going to be Mohegan Sun and what is it? The Wine and Food Festival.
Yes, so Mohegan Sun Wine and Food Festival. Yes, SWFF.
And
that's
it is
hashtag, I think.
next week. What's the 20? What is it?
It starts Friday, but it goes through
26th. I think it is. It's Friday.
Hold on, let me look at my.
So we actually got some media passes, which
it's
is
the 24th.
Cool.
Starts the 24th.
So we're gonna be up in there with our boys, watching our boys. A little content from you guys as well.
Absolutely.
And then
we're gonna be in the celebrity dine around, and we were paired with Hendrick's Gin.
Nice.
So I'm really excited because it's one of the premier sponsors.
That could be the video you were talking about, Bria.
And it's
Hendrick's Gin.
And we did we came up with some really fun dishes. We're going to be doing a really delicious oyster shooter.
Nice.
Like a gin and tonic oyster shooter with these really cool boba pearls.
Oh, I love that.
Ooh, it's going to be good.
I love it.
And then we did like this really delicious kind of like a Hendrick's Gin remoulade sauce that we're going to pair with the shrimp and these really delicious.
I can't wait.
This is going
to be so much fun.
It's going to be serious.
It's going to be awesome.
And booze and seafood. And have a blast.
And then we're going to do some craps.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, Chase, what do we got? Topic
all right, guys. We are on number 3. All right, next topic is mukbangs. You know what the mukbang is?
No.
Okay. All right, I'm going to explain it real quick for you guys. It's a YouTube trend that started in South Korea around 2010. In a mukbang video, the YouTuber eats loads of food, like we're talking a lot of food, while narrating and interacting with their audience. These are usually live videos, and some people, it started in South Korea, but honestly, in the US, it's absolutely blown up, and it's typically Asian food or something, or McDonald's or like a fast food restaurant, and basically, and a lot of people do this live, so people will they'll answer questions while they're eating, and there's 2 parts to this. One, it's just like an entertaining thing, I guess, and then the 2 is it's like a fetish thing.
I was just gonna say this is like a kink.
Yeah,
it's gotta be.
But it's super popular, bro.
Look. This looks like us doing this is like our monthly reports that we give our clients. So it's just like just graphs going up. So
graphs going up.
Everything's going up. This is really freaking weird. Like this is really, really weird.
Yeah.
Like I as somebody who is a content creator and creates content and can see something like this be super popular and then struggle to get your content out there in front of people. It's
frustrating.
It's frustrating. It's weird. It's like the weird shit gets the people that follow. I don't understand. I'm gonna go Wack Move. All right, and I'm gonna go Wack Move, and I'm gonna tell you this. If you go onto YouTube, and I want this to be known to all the people that follow this channel and that do this, if you go onto YouTube and you watch somebody eat a plate with 50 hot dogs on it with pasta, noodles, and eggs, you loser. You goddamn loser is what you are. Jesus Christ, who would want to do that?
I'll explain.
Well,
more.
all the things you can access at porn. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Explain it to me.
So
I'm going Wack Move
it's
on
the act of like watching someone else be satisfied with something and being engorged on something and pleasure and stuff. It's if you enjoy watching. Bro,
go to Mr.
Else.
Happy's in Waterbury and sit across.
Was she a big fat girl?
That's what I'm saying. Is like
I no, part of this is it's a psychology thing. I think if people genuinely enjoy watching other people eat. They do, just like we would enjoy. Now it's like we enjoy watching other people play video games and win in video games.
I don't. No, we don't.
But they do.
Other
though.
people do.
They
You know
do.
what's really
I
fun?
don't.
You know what's really fun? Living.
Yeah,
It's out here living.
Hey,
playing craps.
Playing craps.
Like,
So
I'd rather watch
fun.
somebody else get enjoyment off of them winning on craps.
yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you got, Jeffy? What are you going with on
Well,
this?
all right. So first
Very
of all,
strange.
watching someone eat and chew with their mouth open might be my least favorite thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
That fucking sound. Like everyone in my family knows that sound makes me bananas because like they'll do it sometimes to
Just
piss
to
me
piss you
off.
off.
And I'd like it. Literally, it's like one of those things where it's like. Like stare him down. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, close your mouth, you cow.
Death stare.
And so
You give him the stare that Chase gives the waiter when we're somewhere and he wants a beer and the guy's not getting. He's like,
I'm like, you're gonna
good
give me
stare.
my attention.
That's a good stare.
and I keep telling him we shouldn't go to Cheesecake Factory, but he insists.
Abso-fucking-whackly.
Yes.
Whack.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's
a good one.
Chase.
You know,
I know. I could read this dude like
no,
a book. I know exactly what he's gonna say.
No, I mean, to me, it's like I agree 100% with everything you're saying.
How did you
I
find
love,
this shit? Because you look at it?
I love dude, I love these things that come out and that I love this type of shit, man. I love.
There you go, Jeffy.
No,
Look at him,
dude. No, turn it off. Turn it off. I hate it.
Look where he's got the mic. Look where he's got the mic. He literally has it on the box. Oh no, it's on his thing. It's on his lapel. Look at that thing.
I'm one of those
He
people
threw
though.
the bone. This guy's a savage.
But I'm one of those people though that I like here. I will not watch the show, but I love hearing about my 600-pound life and little people and stuff. Like I love the psychology behind it. It's a whack move. It's weird. And if you watch this stuff, you're weird. And I agree 100% with everything you guys are saying. It's just I love when shit like this. We're living in a voyeuristic culture where we can't just experience a moment directly ourselves. We enjoy it more when we're behind a screen watching someone else enjoy it. And that's what we're evolving into now is voyeurism. Yeah. It's this weird thing. So it's a whack move. And if you enjoy this
Jesus,
stuff.
thank you. Oh my God. Let me get to this button here. Where is it? There it is. You got it in there.
All right.
All right.
That was fun, right? I mean,
that is really goddamn weird. Next, topic number 4, Chasefer.
Pickle bouquets for Valentine's
Pickle bouquets,
Day.
Jeffy. Pickle. We went digging deep into the Google, and we're like, we need 5 Mack or Wack topics that are crazy and that involve foods.
Dreams still come true.
I knew there was a very punny line.
Yeah, it was coming. You knew it.
So
Look
Chef
at that
Jeff,
baby, huh?
Chef Jeff, something that I learned recently that maybe you already knew was that if you are dying of hot food in your mouth, don't reach for the milk. Don't reach for the
pickle
bread.
juice.
Reach for the vinegar-based things. It neutralizes the heat in your mouth right away. That's why they serve pickles with hot wings down south.
Milk don't work?
Milk, no, those things do work.
Okay.
But it's not. This is like a death. It's like it kills the fucking. Excuse me. The hotness right away. It's like the most effective way. So that's why they serve it with hot peppers in there.
I didn't know that.
I just learned this recently.
So Grillo's, a Boston-based pickle company, created this
Grillo's.
one-of-a-kind pickle bouquet. And even though it's not for sale, the pickle chips and spears used to create it can be found in retailers nationwide.
Well, it's
quite interesting.
So it's
isn't
like
it?
edible
you gotta have
arrangements.
A special lady. You gotta have a real special lady to get her
Yeah.
a pickle bouquet.
I think I would do some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Hey, babe.
actually stop at the Big Y on the way home.
Get her a bouquet of pickles.
Get some
pickles. Big dills.
You
Here
know,
you go, honey.
I don't really know why. Maybe because I got a Christmas pickle on my tree. My tree is down, by the way. I'm gonna go Mack Move just because I'm into shit that's different. And more importantly, this is what I'm into. I'm into the fact that you're talking about this article over some shit that they did, which they did a good job of. So for that reason, I'm gonna go Mack Move. Because obviously they got it in the news. So right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Jeffy, what do you got?
All right. Well, I too.
They're kosher. In case
I
you're
absolutely.
wondering.
Yeah. I absolutely. I appreciate the creativity of it. Being a man, I don't ever want to get a bouquet of flowers. But if I got a bouquet of pickles, I'd solid move. My wife.
Bouquet of chicken wings.
Yeah, my actually, I was just gonna say, my wife. I think it was last Father's Day, the Father's Day before. I got a bouquet of beef jerky.
That's cool.
And they had like beef jerky flowers, like they were like cut like daisies, you know, and like and all the sticks. They were
That's
like,
pretty cool.
Slim Jims, a shitload of them.
Did it have like
That's
Randy
awesome.
Macho, like a Randy Macho Man thing in there?
No, it was in it. It was in. I have the cup. It says like the man pack or something, and it's like a giant like
That's cool.
beer stein.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all the the thing came in that. I thought it was
Nice.
cool. I was like, hey, no flowers.
So he's
beef jerky. Daddy likes beef jerky.
bouquet.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
I mean,
donut
I'm gonna-
bouquet. They
I'm gonna
got.
Mack Move. I'm gonna Mack Move the pickle bouquet. I think the pickle
That's it.
bouquet's
They got a
strong
bunch of
move.
different stuff. Beef jerky bouquets, donut bouquet. If you scroll up a little bit, I guess there's a new trend of. No, you scrolled way too far. Right there. So we got beef jerky bouquets, cotton candy bouquets, donut bouquets. They got
Let's
pickled
do a Mack
cheesecake.
Talks, like a Mack Talks bouquet. We'll put all 50 episodes in it. We'll
In the bouquet.
serve it to you
Serve you up.
with a set of headphones. That's all it is. It's just headphones.
I'm honestly, I'm
It's
like,
headphones
bouquet.
with an iPhone.
I'm like almost sexually attracted to a chicken wing bouquet. To be
Oh,
honest.
hey, easy now. Whoa.
All right, so
right.
Mack Move. I'll
Move.
keep it short, gentlemen.
All right, there we go. We got it. All right, so let's round this up and let's land this plane.
This is
we
my
saved
favorite
the
one.
best for last.
I've been waiting to share
We've
this
saved
with you.
Have you heard of this guy? Have you heard of this guy,
Vulgar
Jeffy?
Chef.
Cemented food.
Vulgar
yeah,
Chef.
I follow him. Yep.
Have you
in
heard of this
Connecticut.
fella?
Yep. I follow him.
So that's
yeah.
a pork and
Pork
beans
and beans
popsicle.
Yeah, no, he's
popsicle, bro.
disgusting, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, he does great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's a great brand. What are some of the things he does here? Okay, bacon, jalapeno, grilled cheese. This is perfectly fine. There's nothing.
Yeah,
even
there's
There's nothing wrong with that.
at all.
No,
This is actually
It gets
completely normal.
bad,
Yeah,
though.
you
But
get stoned
that
and eat
is
that every
weird.
day.
It
That
gets bad.
pork and beans there. This looks pretty good
I'm in
too.
there. I'm in there.
Pork butt mac and cheese
down.
chimichanga.
Are you
Done.
kidding me? I'm in
Holy
with that.
shit!
Let's go get one right after this.
Postmodern
grilled cheese. What's in that?
That seems
What?
like a lot of words.
There's a lot of fuckery.
Oh, it's
in there.
postmodern. Okay, so they grilled a cheese and then they put grilled cheese bites inside the grilled cheese, and then they grilled the
That's
grilled
a little
cheese.
too much grilled cheese for me.
Well, I
Franken
mean, it's
beans.
a cool idea, I guess.
Yeah,
But,
it's cool. It's cool for a post and shit.
yeah, it's cool if like your kid's like, hey,
Like
you want
this.
You want to
Frank-
blow your daughter's mind? Grilled cheese instead of a grilled cheese with little bits of grilled cheeses. It's like
Frank and Beans popsicle. Now this one is something else.
That's
bro.
disgusting.
That is fucking disgusting. Look
Oh,
at that.
and he'll post photos like this that just make me laugh.
Smorito.
yeah.
It's like he's gonna deep fry some ice.
Smorito.
Yeah. Smorito.
Ramen
sounds smart.
tacos. I mean, that's not even bad, bro.
No.
There-
Look at this.
wait, keep going. There's a really bad one down there.
It's pretty gross. Ooh, what's that? I
think it's the next one.
Ooh, that's sexy.
good.
I'll
That's
eat that
good.
right now.
Right there.
Oh, that's
Chocolate
disgusting.
coconut crusted ahi tuna sandwich.
That is disgusting looking.
Yeah. Tube steakception.
What's wrong with this?
It's a it's a tube. It's a hot dog inside a hot dog.
Whoa.
The fuck?
It looks like a
What are you
lobster.
It's a
looking at?
cannoli.
Oh, I got it.
It's a bacon wrapped cheese.
No, it's not.
All right, so I'm gonna go Mack Move. I like this guy. He's very creative.
Yeah.
I bet you he makes really great food. He obviously is a stoner because there's no way you're stumbling into this shit without being a stoner.
I don't know how I don't know how those combinations are coming out without the use of marijuana.
Yeah, something's in there. Either that or he's got some head trauma. I don't know.
Yeah, man, he might have been dropping
either one.
Paint
that
chips,
could happen.
I mean, his food is straight up offensive. Like, it's offensive what he does.
I think it's great. How many followers does he have?
150 something thousand. He's got a lot of followers.
I like this guy. This guy is.
He's in Hartford, I think.
What? For real?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think he's
What's
in
his name
Hartford.
again?
They just call him the Vulgar Chef.
Kyle Marcoux.
Oh, okay.
Shout out, Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle. This is interesting. We like this guy. Let's reach out to this guy.
At the Vulgar Chef in Hartford, yeah.
Let's definitely reach out to this guy. Looks pretty cool. So I'm going Mack Move. Jeffy, I already know what you're going.
Boom, Mack Move.
Chase.
Mack Move, but Jesus, dude, your food is offensive.
Mickey, Mac, Daddy.
That's it. That is it. And that concludes
episode 50.
Episode 50. Our boy Jeff has to get on this ferry.
Yes.
To go across the sound to get back to his family.
I'm coming home.
I'm coming home. Chase, go ahead and close us out.
All right, guys. Jeff, I'm gonna let you plug whatever you need to at the end of this. But if you guys want to listen to more Mack Talks episodes, go to www.themacktalks.com. I want you to go to Instagram, go to MACK Talks. Follow us on there, Facebook. Leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're everywhere, people. Tune in.
Mainly iTunes, though. Mainly
iTunes. Go to iTunes.
Jeffy, what is it? What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is at Fork King Chef. Fork King Chef. That's 2 Ks. And that's at Fork King Chef on Instagram. I think I'm at Fork King Chef on Twitter. Jeff Purrazzi on Facebook. And then the podcast is PLUMLUVFOODS. It's live every Thursday on Spreaker.com. You want to follow my good brother at Chef_Plum on Instagram. When you find us. And you can find all our zany stuff. We have a Elite Chef is going on right now, which is on Facebook. You can find it on Eli's homepage or any one of our homepages. That's going to be airing every Friday at 9 a.m. and it's going to be out there. So if you like it, let us know. If you hate it, let us know. We love feedback, and by all means, share the shit out of it because we want it out there. So
share the living shit out of it.
And shout out to Eli's restaurant group for funding this beautiful project and letting us shine light down on the wonderful chefs of Connecticut.
Yeah, and also bringing the good brothers
together. Minds together.
They're bringing the minds together. So
yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff. And we'll see you guys next time.
Elite Chef, guys. Tune in.
Peace.